What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Dr. Fax, and we have some picks for week 14. We haven't been doing too well in the past weeks, but it is a new week, and we have some new picks, and hopefully we'll get some new results.
NFL week 14 and these little long shot bets that we have going are not hitting at the rate we want them to hit. But also they're not our bread and butter bets either.
You can't expect to hit the long shot triple parlay every week.
Yeah,
you're just you're hoping to hit it once per season. You hit it once this season, it'll pay off.
These are the Hail Mary bets.
A lot of bets.
But to start things off, Nate, what are some week 14 NFL bets that you like?
That I like.
Going through the BetMGM app.
The BetMGM app. I think just to start for tonight, I don't know why this line hasn't moved yet, but I just love the plus 3.5 for the Packers. 3, I think it gets kind of iffy. So 3.5, I really like that right now. And believe it or not, I've been saying that I like my old team. I like the Jags. The plus 3.5 to me seems great. I think the back's against the wall. Mac Jones, he looked promising at the end of the game when he got in for Trevor, so maybe there's some spillover, and they're going against the Titans, who aren't the greatest of the teams, and you never know what you're going to get with Will Levis, so hopefully it'll be a bad game so that line hits. And then I don't know why, but this line now is plus 6. I just don't think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out like everyone thinks he is right now. The trajectory is going down, but I think he is now in audition mode, whether the Jets are going to keep him and or if he is going to be on another team next year or looking for another team at the end of the season. I think he needs to put some better stuff on tape. So I think that he is going to be competing for the remainder of this year, and that plus 6 looks good to me.
He needs to get signed to a new team so Devontae can get traded again. He can be like,
I thought you were saying he's going to audition for a role at CBS or Fox.
Man,
he's auditioning for that Netflix series that he's got going on.
Crazy, he got too much.
You guys going to watch that?
Too much. I will not be watching Aaron Rodgers documentary.
Man,
I'm all good.
I'll wait for the out of context clips to come out.
Yes, exactly right.
That's always better.
Yeah. So we're rocking our plus 500 leg parlay that we moved a little bit because we're 0 for 3. But again, this is a long shot. These are some Hail Marys. You don't hit them all. My leg on the plus 500 parlay is a George Pickens first touchdown score, which Nate was not as enthusiastic about.
It's just why just trash our chances right off the bat? It's just it's so sticky. But like Matt said, if you think positively,
damn right.
You get a moon ball, start the game, Pickens gets in the end zone.
Yeah. At 1:10 p.m., this parlay is either going to be looking really good
right.
or just dead.
Or just dead.
Or dead.
We'll know early. We won't have to sweat it anymore.
And the real thing about the first touchdown bets is you're really betting on the coin toss. A lot of the bet is based off the coin toss and which way the coin toss goes. And so that's why it's just man, but hopefully, Reed, Godspeed, and it does hit. My leg is, I'm going with Tyrone Tracy plus 125 rushing and receiving.
I love it. I love that leg. I love it. See, I'm sending good vibes. That's how it works.
Plus 525. I just think that the Saints and the Giants are both terrible teams, and I think we might see a lot of yards, maybe a lot of points from teams that really don't score a lot of points, but I think this is the game. And Tyrone Tracy, he's shown flashes that he can break long touchdowns, he can catch screen passes, so hopefully 125 is a number he'll be able to hit, and we can get this week rolling the right way.
Rolling the right way.
Right after George Pickens hits that
first touchdown.
Tyrone Tracy, he's going to be breaking screens and running, and then Matt's leg is going to finish it off.
Yeah, so every week on Sunday we watch the games, do some research. I always get assigned the really crap games, so I've been watching a lot of New Orleans Saints. They hit Marquez Valdes-Scantling deep, like at least a couple times a game. Derek Carr is looking for him. His prop for 75 plus yards is, I think, plus 425, right? I think they'll look for him, and he could get that in one catch if we get it right. So
And
MVS.
we're gonna get one heck
No
of a
drops.
payout. So we throw $5 each, 15 total. The odds are 21,650. Nice little payday of $3,262.50.
Let's
go. Over a grand
go.
each.
Little cheddar cheese, cheddar cheese for the fellas. But again, we'll know that at about 1:10 p.m.
Fear
on
up
Sunday.
MGM.
Nate, this is your. Every week we call it something different. The last time we did this was the belt to ass parlay.
Yeah.
This one is your alt line legend parlay, which Matt said he was disappointed that he taught you alt lines after he saw this parlay. But who do you have alt line legend parlay?
You're disappointed with this one?
Yeah.
Really?
But I have to say, 2 weeks ago, your outline parlay hit 40 to 1. So
it hit 40 to 1 with I had two minus 13 bets on that. But
coming around on your logic.
Okay, here we go. First leg, 4-leg parlay, $10 gets you $1,181.04. All alt lines. We are going with the New York Jets minus 2.5 at plus 250. And then we have the Atlanta Falcons minus 2.5 plus 220. Guys, this is just betting for them to win. Like, I just feel like if you feel like they're going to win, put that line at minus 2.5. Most games in and winning in the field goals. That's why I like that number. Next up, it gets a little shaky with this pick, but I'm still confident in it. We're going with the Jacksonville Jaguars to win by 5 points.
You know Mac Jones is playing, right?
Yes, I do understand that Mac Jones is playing, but I do understand that Will Levis is also playing, and I like our defense, and for me in this bet, I like Will Levis's choice decision-making, which is bad, so that's good for the Jacksonville defense, and I think that number 44, Trayvon Walker, I think he's going to have a day, and he's going to be in the backfield, absolutely aggravating Will Levis the entire game. And I think that is going to result in a 5-point win for the Jaguars. Mac Jones gets haters like Matt off his back with a nice win. And then to wrap it all up, because I feel like San Francisco 49ers are absolutely cooked. They're cooked. They're injured. They're hurt. They're depleted. Their spirits are down. And I think this is the perfect game for the Bears to kind of get right. I don't know if they're mathematically out of it. I know one thing, they need a win by any means necessary. Caleb looks decent out there. They have a great cast. And Chicago Bears minus 2.5 is plus 185. Parlay all four of those together, guys. Like I said, $10 get you a little over $1,100.
The Bears are not technically eliminated from the playoffs, but their chances are below 1%.
And that's
with a win, with a loss,
but they got
they
got the new coach bump.
Yeah, exactly.
Can't ignore that.
And that's usually when teams want to like turn it around when it's too little, too late, and it's just like you went out, and then it's just like you still.
I don't know how much stock we can put in the new coach bump yet, though, because Thomas Brown was the offensive coordinator. He's like 3 weeks, but Caleb's been looking so much better with him leading the offense the last 3 weekends. And I agree, like San Francisco, they're kind of like, they're coming off the CMAC injury, and Jordan Mason. Like, is Garendo still going to be on a heater from early in the season?
Debo's not looking like Debo right now. I don't know if you chalk it up to the cold and them playing like two cold weather teams the past few weeks. and drops and uncharacteristic
That's right.
things happening with that team. But I just feel like it's a down year, started out bad, and it's just getting worse for San Fran.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
it could be a tough one against the Bears. Everyone's favorite parlay of this group from Nate, two touchdown parlay, and we've noticed that Nate'll give out a 2 touchdown parlay, and those players will have either hit their 2 touchdowns the week before, or they'll hit them the week after. Like we've just got to find that right player and that right week, and you've gone back to the well on a couple of these guys.
And this is the week, guys. Starting it off. The Jags back against the wall. They have a running back. He's phenomenal. His name is Tank Bigsby. I think he's going to be a huge part of this offense this week. Like Matt just said, Mac Jones is playing, so they are, I feel like, not going to try to stress Mac out too much. So a lot of run game, a lot of short passes. Best easy pass for a quarterback most of the time is just dish it to your running back and let them do the work. So 2 touchdowns from him is going to be the biggest leg on this, and that's at plus 2,500. Next up, we have Bijan Robinson.
Bijan
Plus 650 for 2 touchdowns against the Minnesota Vikings. I just feel like the Falcons, they need this win, and if they find a way to get this win, it's going to be because Bijan played well. And after a week where Kirk Cousins had 4 interceptions, I would think they would be trying to go a little bit more run heavy just to take some pressure off him. Don't want him spiraling right now, throwing more picks. So I think maybe start the game running the ball, and if you run the ball well, get Bijan in the end zone quick, and then that last touchdown is just up for grab for the next 3 quarters.
You think the Falcons are going to rally around Kirk going back to Minnesota? You think they're going to show up for their quarterback? Walk into your trap, take over
Until
your
he
trap?
throws a pick six.
Right? But honestly, I just feel like it's that time of year. It's not really like that they're going to be playing for Kurt. Like, everyone knows you need wins right now.
Yeah.
And the only way, like, all these calculations like we're talking about, like, you just have to focus on winning. And those calculations end up working your way if you focus on that and you do that. So whether they find false hope in narratives like that, then yeah, whatever helps you get
Get
going,
through it. Yeah.
for sure. But I think Bijan Robinson, 2 touchdowns there, and then the last leg we have at plus 900, we have Chuba Hubbard coming off a game where I think he's upset that he potentially might have let a game go for his team. It's obviously a team sport, but the fumble he had was big. I think he comes back with the tear. And also, I think running backs and players, when you play against the best, you kind of want to try to elevate your level of play. Chuba is a running back in the league that he just got paid very, very well. And I think that having Saquon being on the other side of the field might inspire him to kind of try to play better, put up some more stats. And hopefully for us, he does.
Keep pace. Keep pace with the guy on the other side of the field.
Yep. And all 3 of those together, let me see if I'm looking at this right. Yep, it is plus 194,900. And if you are skeptical about this and you want a light bet, even if you put $2.50 on this bet, you'll get back $4,875. It's a long shot bet, guys, but it's cheap enough that you could sweat it responsibly and feel good if it does hit right before the holidays.
Put
That's really what
$100
you-
on it. Put 100. You can buy a new house.
Yeah, really. That's really what we
480
should,
grand.
That's really what we should call it, the $2.50 parlay.
And if you do hit it with $100 on it, I just want to be at the welcoming party for your house.
Yeah, as you should.
If you do.
As you should. A welcoming party to a house that we should be at tonight, the Lions-Packers game.
Oof.
We talked about it a little
Packers win.
bit
Man.
earlier, but this is going to be one hell of a matchup. NFC North, they're both the Packers are still in the fight for the division title. Think of it for the playoff race. But Nate, you got a same game parlay for tonight.
I do have a same game parlay. And again, this is long shot, not as long as the last one we just spoke about. Plus 8,000 starting off. This is a homer bet, guys. Don't expect you guys to be on top of it, but I have Dontavian
Wixie
to record 50-plus receiving yards. He is a guy that this year he has had the yips and dropped a few passes, but Jordan Love does go back to him, and I think maybe tonight is a night. But I think inside, clean conditions, I think the wide receivers should have no excuses for catching passes or anything like that. So I have Dontavian Wicks, 50-plus receiving yards, and maybe if we're lucky, guys, we'll get that on one play. Next up, Sam Laporta to record 50-plus receiving yards. He's a guy, I think, in that Detroit offense that Goff is very comfortable with, throwing the ball to him. They probably get maybe 3 or 4 catches, and at that rate, if he can get over 12, 13, 14 yards on a few of those catches, I think we're in the money with that pick. Next up, it's probably the biggest if. We have Jameson Williams record over 100-plus receiving yards. I think he's a guy in that offense that Goff, when you're looking for the long crossers or deep posts, it's usually to Jameson Williams. He can rally off 40 yards quick a lot of time. So hopefully that'll be happening tonight. And then last leg, just off the fact, he didn't complete a lot to Christian Watson last week, but they were bombing it out to him.
Mm-hmm.
He probably had a few that he wanted back last week. So I think that the fact that it was open, they'll probably go to the well again. And if, like I said, I think that playing indoors, don't have to worry about any conditions. Maybe guys' hands are warm indoors, or they don't have to worry about anything like that. So everyone should be catching the rock tonight. And Christian Watson, 75-plus receiving yards. Those 4 legs, Wicks, Laporta, Jameson Williams, Christian Watson, $5 will get you $405 tonight.
I love it.
If you put 100 football,
if you put 100 on it, it might not get you a house like the previous one, but it could get you a nice like hot tub or something.
Yeah, like a nice
little something.
Really old used car.
Yeah.
Civic.
Oh yeah.
And if you want to bet with a little bit lower odds that I think has a good chance of happening, Josh Jacobs, 2 touchdowns plus 400. I think the Packers are going to lean on him tonight.
That's a good. The Lions have those injuries, but it'll be a tight one tonight. We'll be diving into it on our preview show Friday morning.
Go Pack, go!